What's going on? I hope you're having a great day today. In this video, we're going to do a kind of a mini map tour. We're just going to show you some of the environmental stuff that you guys can use to make hunts a lot more efficient and make them a little bit safer for you. Keep the monster grounded as long as possible in the hunts. So right out of the base camp on the Windward Plains, you have a rock falling boulder right here. Anywhere inside this little white dusty area, if you have the monster, you can drop that boulder on him, get a good chunk of damage down the monster. Best way to do that is with a lure pod or a combination of flash pods if he's already running. You can flash him and drop it on him. Over here, you also have vine traps right out in these plains. You've got one over there and you've got one over here. If you open up the map, you can kind of see those ones right there and ones right there. And then a little bit further up, right here, you've got these raptors. That's also kind of a little bit of environmental trap. That's right by that thorn bushes. If you stagger the monster, and again, that one's a little bit more difficult to kind of make happen, but if you stagger the monster or he falls over in that kind of region, those guys are going to jump on him. They're going to do a little bit of damage, not a lot, but what they're going to do is they're going to give you time to kind of recalibrate. You'll be able to sharpen your weapon. You'll be able to beat on the monster, you know, all those things. And that's the same thing you can use these thorn bushes for. So you have some there, you have some there. You have some over there. And if the monster starts walking through those, he's going to take a little bit of damage. It's going to slow him down a little bit. It'll give you a little bit of time. You can use the lure pods to kind of make that happen. So we're going to kind of keep going over here, and I'll touch back with you guys when I get on the other side of the desert so that I can show you a couple other spots. Alright, so we're back. We're over here running towards Zone 17 on the Windward Plains, right in the corner here where Ray Dow shows up. And right here, there's a grounding spike that you can use your slinger to activate. And you can drop that grounding spike on top of anything that shows up over here. There's a few different monsters that kind of will hang out here, but mainly it's Ray Dow. But there's a couple more. And you can also lure some monsters over there with with the lure pods. And then we're going to run to the other corner of the map over by sections like 6 and 3 and stuff like that. And I'll show you a couple more options that are over there. So while we're out here in the plains, in the dunes on the south side of the map, you do have these lightning spikes. If you bring monsters by them, there is a chance that they can get hit by those. On top of that, if you have fought with the Bawahara in the beginning, you'll know that you can drop the boulders that he wraps around. Just bear in mind that you have to have your weapon put away in order to make that happen. But when he spins up on these, you can just pull your slinger out. You can drop that one down. If he slings up again, you can drop that one down. Just wanted to make sure you guys were aware that there's 2 of them in there. And then now we're going to head back over to that section 6 and 3, and I'll show you the couple traps that are up high in that section. Alright, so we're over here in map section 3, and we're going to go up these vines on our sacred. And I'm going to show you that there's actually a lot of traps up here. Every now and then, Chotacabra will come up here. A lot of the flying monsters will come up here. So this is definitely a good place to know and utilize. So if you come up here, you see right there, if you activate your slinger, you can pull the sharp crystals down in 3 locations. They do very good chunks of damage to the monster. And then on top of that, you've got this little section here that if the monster does enough damage on, it'll break down and create some spikes. And then same with this section right here. It kind of drops down, does a little damage to the monster. And then there are spikes that you can use on the monster itself. Not like you hit them, but you can kind of kite him into him. If he runs into him, he'll take some damage. And then as we go down, so now we're kind of wrapping back around towards the base camp. So I just wanted to kind of show you on the map where we're going so you kind of have an idea. So we're going to drop down over here. We're going to open up our wings and do a little bit of flying. So down here, there's a double boulder fall, and it's right next to a shock trap, which is like super great. Or not a shock trap, a flash pod. So you'll see right here, wait to see if we can't just pull this down right on this guy. Boom, 400 damage onto the Chotacabra. He fell over. You've got a bunch of time to beat the crap out of him. You can run them into a couple different spikes. Now, there are upsurges that can happen inside the game. So, like, it'll say rock boulders or falling boulders upsurge, crystal spikes upsurge, and that'll just make a few more of them pop up. And now you can see we're right back at where we started. This is the one right below the base camp over here. So I just wanted to make sure you guys had a little bit of map awareness as far as environmental traps that are possible for you guys to use, because knowing the environment is going to be really helpful to having a really successful hunt. But I wanted to share that information with you guys. If you found that video helpful, leave a like, subscribe, come back, watch another one.